Hi folks, this is GingerLion. I'm just starting myself a new project. I'm starting with Agrarian Skies, which is a new mod that showed up in the FTB console. I'm going to be starting it and moving pretty quick. I'm going to, pretty intentionally, I'm going to step off camera every time I think there's some grinding going on, because there's a reasonable amount of grinding. But let me explain to you what it is, and we can get started. So, Agrarian Skies is what's known as a skyblock map. In other words, if you look at the map in the upper right, we are floating in the sky. We don't have a chunk of land to stand on. For those of you who played Skyblocks, you already know most of what I'm about to say, but for those of you who haven't, it's a really good idea if you're playing a Skyblock map to move relatively quickly, to be careful with what you're doing, etc. Because you only have what resources have been granted to you by the map maker. In this particular case, what we've got pretty much is a house and some trees and a little bit of land, and unfortunately, if you hit F7, a lot of that land is places where monsters can spawn at night, and you have nothing to light them up with yet. So, now, the mod pack that has been included here includes a mod called Ex Nihilo, which is, well, it's pretty amazing for skyblock purposes. What it allows you to do, let's start with, this crook allows you, when you break down leaves, to have an increased chance of drops, both saplings, like I just got, which is always good. Your first sapling is kind of a scary time. Apples, and something I haven't got yet, silkworms. Silkworms, when placed on the leaves of a tree, convert those leaves into a white block that, when broken with a crook, gives you string, along with a whole bunch more silkworms. And silkworms are an acceptable form of food. So, I'm going to take just a little while. I'm actually going to use up this stack of bone meal that's in my hand, turning it into trees, wood, turning that wood into crooks. I'm not going to do anything else for just a little while I explain to you what my intent here is. I'm going to make these episodes, and frankly, I'm mostly making them for my own amusement. I recognize that that's kind of a silly thing to say for a guy who basically makes YouTube videos for his own amusement anyway, but I didn't do this explicitly because I think it's going to be the best set of videos. I did it because I really enjoy this map, and there's no reason for me not to record it. I've played through perhaps 4 hours of this map at one point already, decided it was good and fun and something that I could record a video series on, deleted my save game, and I'm starting over right now. So, I'm doing this partially for my own amusement, partially for those who've never played Skyblocks, to give you some idea what you can do and what the opportunities are on this map. I think you'll like it quite a lot. I've learned quite a lot in my first playthrough. Yeah, so I'm going to grow some trees for a little while, and I'll be back to you. Okay, folks, so it just started raining, and that presents me an opportunity that I think I'm going to take. Ex Nihilo has a whole bunch of new things included in it, some of which are absolutely amazing, one of which is a trick for producing water, which I'm about to show you. It's going to be necessary later, so I might as well do it now. Let's see. I don't think I want 18 barrels, but 10 sounds good. There's 10 barrels and some oak slabs. Now, I'm going to make use of these oak slabs by doing this. This way, I don't have to jump the mod pack creators. My understanding is that this is one of Jaded Cat's favorites. Has added the hunger... I can't remember the name of the mod right now, and I'm not going to look, but it's a hunger overhaul. There we go. It allows you... It gives you a distinct disadvantage in terms of hunger is a much bigger deal. It used to be that a couple of apples or a couple of loaves of bread would satisfy your hunger. Now, I think it'll take 20 apples to fill your hunger from empty, and an empty hunger bar will kill you instantly. This is one of the major problems in this particular mod pack. It's one of the disadvantages to playing it. It's also one of the things that keeps it interesting. So, I made these barrels. I placed them over here. I did that because it's raining, and because it's raining, it's going to fill those with water, which allows me to have barrels of water, and barrels of water will allow me a little bit later to make some really cool things. Wrong pattern. There we go. So, yeah, I wanted to show you guys that on camera so that you weren't confused when you came back and saw barrels sitting over there. See? Barrels full of water. If we had a bucket, which we don't yet, but if we had a bucket, we could grab that water out of there. There's a way to make a bucket. I'll show you. A little bit later. See you in about a bit. Okay, it's daytime again, folks. I've worked my way through the night. Now, it's time for me to begin the process of setting up my house. I'm not going to keep this house for the longest of long terms, but for the moment it's a really good place for me to get started. The first thing that I think is necessary is to remove these corner strips because they keep you from using these corner blocks, which to me are important places to put tools and equipment. So, I'm just going to take a little bit and remove these while I discuss the next piece of this mod pack, which is the hardcore questing piece. If you'll note in my lower left, the bottom of my inventory is a book. That book has in it a whole bunch of quests and a whole bunch of questing, which gives you a whole bunch of rewards, some of which are randomized and some of which are standardized. And they're a really good idea to take the time and get started with them. So let me pop that open, and I'm just going to skip past the intro screen where this guy talks. Move on to learning to skyblock. We click open. We start over here. I can claim this reward, which gives me an apple. Wonderful. Next thing, move over here. Manual submit. Claim reward. This gives me these two items, which are the quest delivery system and a hopper. These are set up so that you can return your quests manually outside the book. It's not going to be particularly useful right now. Much later on, once you have enough items that you need to return, 256 items, it's going to make a lot more sense to use these. I'm going to set them up. I'm going to go to this quest, the next quest on the list, which is the QDS. I'm going to select the task, and it's entitled Feed the QDS. Now I can right-click on this, and if I look, what I need to do is return an oak plank. So I'm sure I have an oak plank. Toss it in here. That changes color. I can come in here and notice that this has become my task. And what I have to do is give it back the hopper. I don't have anything that I can use to break the hopper with, so that's a little bit useless. But let's move on to this next quest over here to make a carpenter's shop. I'm going to make all of these pieces because I need them anyway. And there's no reason for me not to. First thing that I'm going to do is make myself another crafting table. I'm actually going to need 2 of these, so I might as well do that. Now, I'm going to turn one of them into a crafting station, and I'm going to turn the other... actually, I'm going to leave the other just like it is. This crafting station I'm actually going to convert into a flat crafting station. I think it's better that way. Now, I'm going to put the flat crafting station down. Goes right here for me. It's the easiest place for me to make sure I can get to it anytime I want to. And I'm going to turn these all into sticks. Then I'm going to turn a bunch of these sticks into patterns. I think I need 4 or 5 of them. Now, this and this make myself a part builder. So I'm going to put right there. And then this and this makes me a tool station, which I'm going to put right... Interesting. Theoretically, I could put them in all sorts of odd positions, which I'm going to put right there. Let's see. I know that I need a chest, so let's go ahead and make myself a chest. While I'm at it, I'm going to make 2 because, well, there's plenty of room for me to have chests. I may have just got myself a little bit of trouble. We'll see. Let's see. I think a chest can go right here over the window. Yeah, good place for it. Now, let's take a look at what else I have to make. It says I need to make a stencil table. I don't remember the recipe for that. Stencil table. What's the recipe? A block of wood. Okay. This and that makes me a stencil table, which also I'm going to convert to a flat unit and put right there. And theoretically, I've now made everything necessary to claim my reward. But I need to pick one. I've been told that this pan is the best choice, and so I'm going to take it. Claiming my reward. Now, I'm going to empty a bunch of stuff out of my inventory. And I'm going to use this chest to store what I consider to be my vital for my continued survival. So if I fall off the edge of the world, this chest is going to have everything that I need. You'll notice I have 2 silkworms here and 1 more in here. For safety's sake, I've put 4 oak saplings in there. Now, there's another piece to this ex nihilo thing that I think that you're going to find really useful. I find it really useful. I'm going to set up 4 barrels here. That seems to be enough to start with. And I'm going to grab my oak saplings and do this. 8 oak saplings fills up one of these barrels. Now, I can do it with apples. You can do it with rotten zombie flesh. You can do it with all sorts of useful things. What happens is, over time, this gets a little browner, and eventually it becomes dirt. So there, you have dirt generation out of trees. That's a pretty useful addition. Now, what's next? Oh yes, I'd like to open this quest reward bag, just to see what I get out of the deal. I'm going to put down my other 2 treasure chests. Let's see, where's a good place to put them? I don't use this window, so there's good. I'm not sure where with this last one, so I'll put it away for the moment. Bing. Now, let's see what this bag gives me. Hope it's cool things. Oh, wow. Spawn silverfish, spawn chicken, spawn blizz, spawn sheep, spawn pig, spawn ender dragon, and jaded cat. So I am going to take all of these and put them away. The ender dragon probably never going to use, but pig and sheep could be very useful, and the chicken, when I have a place for chickens to live, that will give me a wonderful way to produce food relatively quickly. Unfortunately, I know that my girlfriend will be sad about this, but in this particular mod, there's no way that I can afford to be a vegetarian. I prefer it, but I'm going to fill these barrels up. I've already put a sapling out there, so I'm safe, and I've got some away, so there we go. There's some barrels full of that, and I'm going to save those for food. Now, let me just take a look at what my next quest on the list is. Smooth as silk. Okay, so I now have 4 dirt. And let me grab 1 of my saplings. Actually, let me put 3 dirt in here for safekeeping. I've got my pan, which is both a weapon, and this is the reason that I was told that it's worth having. Let me show you this trick for those of you who are interested. Shift right click on the ground, and it becomes a place that you can cook things, and I can cook those. Why did I have villager and mushroom. Then all you got to do is break it and pick it back up, and there's your pan. So let me add these to here. Villagers and mushrooms. God, that's going to make my life so interesting. Okay, good. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Now, over here, I'm going to place this block of dirt. I'm going to put this on it. I'm going to go grab myself a little bit of bone meal. I'm going to grow it up. Please grow. Wow, that's taking an absurd amount. Is there some reason that it can't grow? I just used half a stack of bone meal. I'm going to assume that that spot is incapable of growing trees. Where are my slabs? Okay, good. Let's try that again up here with some more bone meal. I'm very unhappy about the amount of bone meal that just took. Bone meal is not at the moment, easily replaceable thing. There we go. There's a tree. And I am going to take that tree and I'm going to put a silkworm on it right here. And just for speed's sake, I'm going to put another one right there. That uses up 2 silkworm. This is going to turn that entire tree into a silkworm farm. So, I am going to spend the night making more wood, because wood is always valuable. Let me actually just take a look at my quests. Yeah, wood is what I need to do right now, while that tree converts itself into silkworm-infested tree. So, I will see you in the morning, folks. Okay, folks, midnight-ish, and just a quick update on that tree. Take a look. See how those silkworms spread? Pretty awesome. See you in a minute. Okay, folks, morning time, second morning. You'll notice my food bar is a little bit down, and I'm going to start trying to fill it. I've got I started with 19 apples. You'll notice what's going on. Half a food bar for each one. Not so great. That was all the apples that I produced. I've got 11 left. Not making me happy, but that's life in this game. So, now let me come and get myself some string and some silkworms. This is... Ooh, I hope I got those. Those dropped right by me. This is one of the big advantages of playing with Ex Nihilo. Actually, Ex Nihilo is specifically designed for Skyblock games, and it basically allows you to generate just about anything that you could generate in a normal game in a Skyblock. Takes a little while, takes some time and some careful thinking and some preparation and whatnot, but that's fine. Oh, by the way, these occasionally they turn green. I've been told that that is a visual glitch, and that when they break, they still drop all the same things that they would have if you had broken them when they were full white. So, I broke this one tree worth of... and got 25 string, and I had 4, so I got 2 more silkworms. I'm going to tear this tree down and put a sapling in its place, and that's going to be good for now. Now note, I did not get a single sapling out of this tree. You can't just convert all of your trees into string trees and have that be well for you. It won't work out. You're going to need something more than that. So, let me grab a sapling from here. I'm actually going to grab some bone meal because I'd like to make a little bit more forced grown string. So, let's grab that bone meal, grow this tree up. Oh, a good big one. Good. I'm only going to put 1 silkworm on it. And I'm going to keep 1 in storage, and I'm going to cook the rest of them. Cooking them? Yep, cooking them. So, let's put this pan down. Let's grab some sticks. I got 16 sticks. Toss them in here as fuel and cook my 5 silkworms. Not sure if they'll cook all in one stack. There is a progress bar that occurs up here in the upper right hand corner. Not exactly where you'd expect a progress bar to be, but that's fine. The pan is cooking away. I'm going to have to find out in just a little while whether that pan will allow me to cook logs. I don't think it will. So, my next quest book item involves making a bunch of things. The one that I consider the most important at the moment is the bed. I do not like monsters spawning at night, which is, interestingly enough, why I've spent all my nights over there. That puts you in a location that reduces the chance of spawn throughout the entire area, because that's where you are most central. If you spend your nights in the house, there's a very high chance that you will find yourself with mob spawns occurring outside. So I need 3 of these. And now I have a bed. A bed made exclusively out of a tree. What a wonderful thing for this game. Let me go ahead and remove this because I like my bed to be in a corner. Grab those blocks, place it there. Take a look. It looks like by not separating them, I do get a cooked silkworm out of this deal. Okay, good. All is well. I think in the future I will separate them just so that it doesn't, frighten me. And being who I am, I'm going to put 1 block of wood in there. There's 5 cooked silkworms. And no, it's not going to cook my wood for me. That's too bad. Let me just make sure. Bing. No fire. Nothing. So, Cooked silkworms, source of food. This is a lot better than nothing. I now have two sources of food, apples and cooked silkworms. I'm going to put both of them up here. Now, let's move on to our next pieces. What else do I need to make a hammer, which I'm going to make easily, and a fishing rod. Let's make those two things. A hammer. Oh, I need some planks. A hammer is used in Ex Nihilo for breaking up blocks. For example, once we have cobblestone, we can use it to break up cobblestone into gravel. We can break up gravel into sand. We can break up sand into dust. I know you don't know what dust does yet. That's fine. These are all necessary steps in the process for Ex Nihilo. Finally, I need to make an oak sieve, and I don't have enough string yet to do that. That's part of why I wanted to get that tree outside cooking. So, I'll be back once I have enough string. See you in a minute, folks. Okay, so for those of you who'd like to know basically the only Easter egg hidden that I've found so far in this map, watch. If you don't, give me another minute. Look away. Okay, so you look right down here. There's that. That has this. There you go. Easter egg found and covered back up so that those who don't want to don't have to see it. Everyone who wants can look back. We're back. All is well. So, what am I going to do right now? I think, because it's daytime, I don't have to be standing over there. I have a bed now. That tree's converting. I'm happy with everything that I've got going on. I'm going to leave 4 saplings in there and put all my rest of my stuff. I'm basically going to put my stuff away. I'm going to sort, because I'm about to do something risky. And risky is, well, when you're playing Skyblock, you know, if you do risky things, there's a chance you're going to die. And, well, there's a chance I'm going to die. And I don't really want to lose all this stuff if I happen to. But it's a risk that I'm willing to take at the moment. What risky thing is it that I'm going to do? Well, I am not a huge fan of, like I said just a little while ago, I'm not a huge fan of the way this map is necessarily laid out. It's good, it's fun, but it's got all these mob spawn locations, and I'm not a huge fan of mob spawns. So, I'm going to build myself an extension to the map. What I want to do is, I guess, the best I'm going to do for the moment is there. And now I'm going to take the risk and drop down on it and build myself a little bit of a platform. And what I actually want is to put a platform there and not fall off and die. And to keep that from happening, I'm going to block the water flow. And this platform is going to end up becoming my new home. It's going to take a lot of building, a lot of time, all of which, frankly, I intend to do during the daytime, because if I do it at night, there's a real chance that mobs will spawn up there, and that's no good. So, let's go ahead and break this. I'm going to need myself an axe relatively soon, and I have the supplies to build one. I've just procrastinated a little bit. So, good, caught them. Like to catch as many of these as I reasonably can so that I don't waste them. Good. Build out this platform a little bit, remove this block. At some point, I intend, lost that one, to disassemble this entire island. It all becomes building materials for me, and then I have made a space that I completely control and own. That's just the way I like it. I hate it when I do that. Mostly because it makes a spot where mobs can spawn, and I'm not a big fan of mobs, obviously. Later on, I will build myself a mob spawning tower and a dropper and a place for them all to land and die, so that I can have all of the wonderful mob spawn goodies that I am a huge fan of. But that's not here nor there. So let's get this platform built out a little bit so that I have a safe place to work and live. Closing in on nighttime. So anyway, I wanted to show you me getting started on building this. I'm going to need to build some stairs to get up and down. I'm going to need to do a bunch of stuff, and it's nighttime, so it's time for me to start heading upstairs. But I wanted you all to see what I was working on so that you knew when you saw it sticking out here in the land what was going on. So I will see you guys in just a minute. Okay, folks, so we've got ourselves another food situation, obviously. I've got another block taken away from the island, a little bit closer to my goal. I'm going to eat up a little bit of apples, and I just finished tearing down the string tree that I had made. And so I'm going to show you the next item that's going to be constructed, and it's glorious and wonderful. Show you in just a second. Not that. These. I need to take this and do there. I need one more silk mesh. Now I can take all of this stuff back. String is a good thing to have, though at this point I think I might have a little bit of an overdose of it. Let's see if I have planks or sticks. I need 2 sticks. I have 1 plank. That's not going to be useful to me. So, this, and this gets me the oak sieve from Ex Nihilo. Okay? Now, this is going to be the gateway to, well, it's the gateway to the future, frankly. The entire rest of the wonderful things that you wish to make are made exclusively from there. Now, let me grab myself my quest book back, and my pan, because it's nice to have a weapon, just in case. I'm not in danger right now, so I've made all of these, and it asks me, as my next step, is to work my way through the next stone. What do I do? Well, you basically, it's going to use up some of the wonderful dirt blocks that we've made here, but you take a dirt, I'm only going to put 1 here, going to autofill, isn't it? Yep. And you put it in and you right click on it, and when it comes all the way through to the bottom, you get some items. In this case, all I got was 5 stones, but all is a little bit of a misnomer, because there we are. Out of dirt comes cobblestone. So out of trees comes dirt, out of dirt comes cobblestone, and later, amusingly enough, out of cobblestone comes almost all the ores, dirts, etc. that you might wish. So, go ahead and take a look at our book. I get to pick myself a reward. Carrot seeds, cotton seeds, sugarcane seeds. I think I'm just going to go with seeds and claim that reward. You'll note I also got a stone axe out of the deal. So in my inventory is a stone axe, Bane of Arthropods 4. Wonderful. I kill squid. That's fine. These 2 I'm actually going to combine so they don't take up too much extra space. And I have the beginnings of the necessity to make myself food. So, what I'm going to do, because I now have a bed, and I theoretically have nighttime safety, let's see if I can sleep yet. Nope. Well then, I'm just going to take a moment and cause trouble. I'm going to run up this here hill, and I'm going to put this right here. That blocks off all that flow of water, which produces a whole bunch more squares where mobs could spawn. It also reduces the risk over at my end, so there's no waterfall. And it's going to allow me a location that I can make a hoe and plant those seeds and get myself a little bit of wheat production going. So, let me get that started right now, right here on camera. So, what do I need? This comes this. 2 of these becomes this, 2 of those, and 2 of those, and I have myself my first hoe. And I don't have enough seeds yet for it to matter, but I have enough dirt that I could lay out a little bit more if I needed to. So, let's hoe that, and plant my seeds on it. there's the possibility towards my first grown food, which is a little bit of potential safety coming. So, now, I'm going to go build this platform out some more. I'm going to let my various things grow. Actually, you know what? Because I have the opportunity, I want to show you, and because it's actually probably the next quest that I care about, yes. I need to produce for myself some sand, some gravel, and some dust. How do I do that? Well, remember that hammer I made? I'm about to put it to use. We put down a cobblestone, and we smash it with a wooden hammer, and it produces gravel. If I put down the gravel, and I smash it with a wooden hammer, I get sand. If I put down the sand, and I smash it with a wooden hammer, I get dust. Those are the 4 things that I need to work myself through this. Now, I can't submit it yet, because I really only have the dust in my hand, but relatively soon I'll be able to. So, I'll be back pretty soon, folks. Okay, so I built this platform out a little bit. I planted my various saplings in hopes that I'll get automatic tree growth like I got there. And I planted all of my spare saplings in here to make dirt. Now I'm going to sieve the dirt that I have left over and hope that I get myself enough stones to complete this particular little quest piece. You'll also note, sometimes I get other things, like I just got sugarcane seeds. That's wonderful. I have 14 stone, and I have some sugarcane seeds. Relatively soon I'll be able to plant some sugarcane. That'll be a wonderful thing. Now, I could use this dirt up, but I really don't want to. That's my spare emergency. There's a problem, and I screwed up somehow, and here's my spare dirt. So, let's go ahead and turn these into cobblestone. Now I have the dust. Where's my hammer? Hammer's right here. So, I need to make some sand. There's some sand. And I need to make some cobblestone. There's some cobblestone, and I need to open up my book. Manual submit. All of these items I'm going to pick, and note, I got a pick of misfortune. It's nice to have a pick. And there we go. I got back all of the items that I made. Oh, hey, a tree just grew out there. Wow, wonderful. And I got a reward bag, a good reward bag. So let's see about getting a little bit of space in my inventory. Well, I'm not going to use that hoe anytime soon. That can go with those. And here we go. Clear up this space down here so that I can clearly see what it is that I get out of my reward bag. I got 16 TNT. Are there any unusual uses for TNT at the moment? I can use it to make dat cord. I can make it to make Tinker's Construct explosives. Nope, doesn't look like there's anything particularly useful that I can do with it. I'm just going to put it away. That's a little disappointing, but that's life. Now, I have 2 half hearts. I'm going to combine them together. I've not yet died. Not yet, mind you. It'll happen. Giving me a full heart. I now have 3 remaining. Good to know that I have a little bit of safety should I fall off this platform and die somehow. Now, what was it that I wanted to do? Oh yes, the next quest that I believe is in this quest line, melting stone. I wish to make an unfired crucible and an unfired clay bucket, and the descriptions are all up here, but I'm just going to do it in front of you so that you have a good solid working knowledge of how to do this. So let me turn that off, and let's put down the cobblestone and smash it with a wooden hammer. Let's put down the gravel and smash those with a wooden hammer. And let's put down the sand and smash those with a wooden hammer. I now have dust. I now have 4 dust. I'm going to take these 4 dust over here. I only have 3 at the moment that I can use, but filling those 3, please tell me I didn't lose that. Good. got me clay. Now, you put the 3 clay blocks down and break them with your hand or a shovel, but I don't have a shovel right now. I now have 12 clay. Now, the first thing that I wish to make is an unfired clay bucket. That's one of the items that's necessary in here, and once I have the necessaries to fire it, there's my method of transporting water around, which will allow me to make a bigger farm than I currently have. Next, I need... I think it's 7. Let me look at the recipe. An unfired crucible is 7. I have 7. Let's make 7 of this porcelain clay. And then, here in the crafting grid, let's go ahead and lay them out like this. I now have an unfired crucible and an unfired bucket, which gets me one more quest completed, moving on to firing the pottery. And that demands that you make a slab furnace. That's going to take 6 cobblestone. At the moment I have none. I have these 3 dirt. So let me turn these 3 dirt into cobblestone. Ooh, I got another something. And another something. I like it when I get more than just stone out of this. So now we got another sugarcane seed, which I'm going to put away. We have a birch seed in case my birch tree doesn't produce sapling. And we have pumpkin seeds so that we can grow pumpkins when the time comes. Let me split these out. I want to leave 2 in there. And it's going to be cooking time very soon. But let's see what I've got in terms of cobble. I've got 3 cobble. 3 cobble is going to make me 6 slabs, but I need 8 to make what I need next. So I need 3 more cobble, which means a little bit of more grinding. So I'm going to go outside. I'm going to drop all this stuff off first. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to grind some more trees. I'm going to get myself some more saplings. Once I have the saplings that I need, I'm going to bring them in here and compost them, and I'll be back when it's sieving time. See you in a minute, folks. So I find myself in an interesting situation with a partial barrel of stuff, so I wanted to point out to you that string was a perfectly acceptable methodology for filling up those barrels. So there's the first one. Let me just go through the process of sieving them out and see what I get out of the deal. And there's some stone. Looks like I got some more pumpkin seeds. That's a good thing. I'm starting to build myself up a little stockpile of such. 1 stone. Looks like you are just about ready. There we go. You don't always get 4. Sometimes you get 5. Sometimes you get 3. Sometimes I don't necessarily know the pattern yet, but it's fine. You usually get 4 out of the process, which is enough for you to make 1. Occasionally, obviously, I get a little bit more. Finally, enough slabs for me to make my slab furnace. This is a new addition that I think is pretty cool. You make slabs, you make a furnace out of that. This is a Tinker's Construct edition. It saved me effectively 2 cobblestone. I now have 4 cobblestone slabs, which is 2 cobblestone worth, that I can use however I'd like. And now I have a furnace. Let's see. Yeah, that should work just fine. Here's my furnace, and what the book demands is that the first thing that I do is fire those 2 items that I made, the unfired crucible and the unfired clay bucket. I'm absolutely fine with that. Let me get sticks down here, which I believe to be the most efficient way of cooking these things. And I think I'm going to make it all out of oak, because spruce and birch are at the moment rare materials for me. That wasn't what I wanted. Inventory. Thank you. Sticks. I'd like a stack of sticks. So, right click there. That's as close as I'm going to get for the moment. Load those in as fuel. And first thing is the bucket. I think I can actually get my reward right now for having made the furnace. I'm going to pick this one, claim reward. There's my quarter of a heart, which is going to go in here, filling that up. And open my reward bag. I got a slimy sapling, an amaranth sapling, and a blood sapling. Lava-resistant grows on the ceiling. Interesting. I'm going to have to research all those. I happen to know that the slimy sapling allows you to make slime blocks, which allows you to make slime dirt, which allows you to make slime rods, which are the best tool rods that you can easily make in Tinker's Construct. So I know that that's valuable. I'm going to have to check out Amaranth and the others. For the moment, putting those away, coming back to my bucket. There, I have a bucket. That's going to make farming much more useful. And the crucible. What the crucible does is allows you to melt down things into their molten forms. And you know what the molten form of cobblestone is? You're right, lava. I've just developed the capability of making lava. And now I'm also going to use up the rest of this wood. I know it's all of my current wood, but I have a whole bunch of trees sitting out there. Hey, look, that tree's already grown. This tree's filling up with leaves. It's closing in on nighttime. The reason that I'm doing this, I need light. Charcoal to make light is an important step for me. I really want to light this island up so that I don't have any risk whatsoever of mobs spawning. Now, I know I'm going to tear this island down at some point. That just means I'm going to get those torches back, and they'll be useful for other things, like, for example, lighting up those trees down there. That would be a really good idea, so that I don't have monsters spawn. I don't want monsters to spawn when I don't want them and where I don't want them. So, I'm going to let that cook up. And I'm not going to make lava quite yet, though Cobblegen is very valuable. I need some non-flammable materials to build that out of, and that really means tearing down some of this island. So, I'm going to get to work on that in a little bit, and I'll be right back. Okay, folks, last little project I work on before it's wrapping up time for episode 1. You'll notice I went ahead and stole the dirt block from there. That's a little annoying, but not a problem. I did come over here and build myself a infinite water source of my own, because I intend to destroy that one at some point later. And now I'm going to build what I think to be, well, probably the most valuable thing I can build right now. Clearly, I'm building it, so I think it's pretty valuable. I'm building myself a farm. It's time for me to get food production started. So, what's the easiest way for me to do this? Well, I'm not going to make the most efficient farm I can possibly make, because at the moment, I don't have enough materials for it. But 1, 2, and there's no way I'm putting dirt out over the void, especially when I'm this low on it. Relatively soon, I'll be able to start using, well, I'll start up my Cobblegen next episode, and that will allow me to stop using dirt to make cobblestone, and that will give me a huge advantage in terms of production. But let's start with breaking this center block out. I now have 4, which will allow me to fill in the 4 corners. And now, I am going to put a full block down here, because I don't want there to be, what am I saying? Yeah, just a sec. Can I put torches on the edge of that? Yes, I can. Good. That gives me light in this neighborhood. I really only need 1. That's fine. Remove that. Remove that. There we go. Sorry. This produces me a farm block that I don't have to worry about falling in the center of, that I can climb up on because of these stairs. Good, good. Now, time for me to come up here. Now, I want to show you one thing that I did do off camera that was a little odd. When my wheat grew up there, I found that there's a neat new recipe for seeds. The recipe for seeds is use wheat, make seeds. So I took the wheat that I had, I converted it into seeds. This given me 6 seeds. And if I don't come down here with my hoe, then I wasted the entire trip. So, I now have water here, and I have a farm going here. I'm going to start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Which will allow me 6 growing places for wheat, which means that relatively soon I'll have food. Now, I just want to show you what I'm going to do when the time comes. I am going to take the wheat, and I am going to use this recipe for making bread. There are other recipes for bread, by the way. You can use dough in Pam's cooking, but unfortunately to do that, you need salt, and I don't have salt. I don't even know how I would make salt at this point. Looks like a pot and a can of water, and I might be able to cook it. So relatively soon I'll produce a process for making it, but I don't have it right now, which means I'm going to use 3 wheat per bread. And then, let me go back into my inventory. The bread, come on. Bread is a nourishing, light meal. However, if you take the bread and you smelt it, you can make a better meal out of it. A nourishing, light meal. I guess they both list as nourishing, light meals, but the toast gives you more food satisfaction out of it. So at the cost of a little bit of fuel, which is trees, which you can see I have a pretty good collection of, we're going to have much better food selection. So, this is the end of this episode, and I will see you guys next time.